Okay, here's a just a quick couple of videos. Just hopefully this will help get y'all prepared for your final exam that we're going to have. I just want to run through these problems. I thought making videos would make it more accessible for you guys, that you could watch it on your own time and repeat what you needed to. There'll have to be multiple videos because I have to make them less than 15 minutes long so that I can upload them to YouTube. So maybe that'll help you with finding the particular problem that you're interested in. But I am going to be moving rather quickly through this, so just know that ahead of time, that you may have to slow it down or backtrack if I go too fast through something. I am trying to use this on my board at Puckett, so if I'm looking for stuff, it's because I'm not used to using Smart Notes here at school. But other than that, I should be able to maneuver this. Let's see here. Okay, so number one, use the distributive property to remove the parentheses. So all we're having to do is distribute this negative. So it's like you're multiplying through by -1. So -1 times -6 would be a +6u. -1 times -3 would be a +3y. And then a -1 times a 4 would be a -4. Basically, all your signs change. So all that does is changes all your signs. That is a really fat script. I wonder if I can make that skinnier. Let's see here. Should be able to. We'll try that. Okay, so there's the first one. Let's go to the next one. For each equation, choose the statement that describes its solution. If applicable, give the solution. Okay, choose the statement that describes its solution. So on the first one, we just basically have to solve this thing out. So I need to distribute. So I'm just going to go ahead and distribute that 4. So that's 4x plus 4 minus x equals, and then that's going to be 3x minus 3 plus 7. Okay, since this is kind of long, I'd put the little fence up in the middle. Get your like terms together on the left. 4x and -x go together. We're combining like terms. Don't try to balance. Don't put plus x underneath here. That's wrong if the equal sign's not in between. That's the whole reason we did the little fence in between, is so that you guys would know that it's only permissible if you have one x on one side and one on the other. So we definitely don't want to do those two things. So we just want to say 4x minus x is 3x plus 4 equals, and then over here I can put these two terms together, and again, you're just combining like terms. -3 plus 7 is a +4. Alright, so now I can go through and I can subtract 3x on both sides, and you see I have one on the left side of the line and one on the right side of the line. Well, when that happens, my x's disappear and I have 4 equals 4. Well, when that happens, I need you to ask yourself, is this true or is this false? Because that's going to lead you to making the correct conclusion. Well, 4 is equal to true, so we definitely have a true statement. So does that sound like all real numbers or no solutions? Hopefully you guys know that that's all real numbers will work. Okay, so let's go to the next one. I'm going to work this other one, and I'll try to squish him in over here. I'm going to distribute the -8, so it'll be a -8v minus 8, because a -8 times a 1 is a -8. All right, now come over here and distribute your 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times -4v is -8v. And then bring down your -9. Remember, you stop distributing whenever you get to the parentheses. Okay, clean up both sides. If you need to put the line, put the line. There's nothing to get together over on the left, so it just sits there and it's patient. On the right, you have to put your -9 and your 2 together. So that makes a -8v and a -7. Now, let's go through and get our like terms together. If I get our like terms together, let's see here. I need to add 8v on both sides. When I do that, these cancel out. Kind of exactly what happened with the other problem. So that's going to be a -8 equals a -7. Well, same thing as we did before. When the variables go away, you have to ask yourself, is that true or is that false? Well, -8 is not the same thing as -7, so false is what goes with no solution. So we need to mark that one and move on. So basically, to sum it all up, if your variables cancel out, you just go into a true-false statement. False automatically goes with no solution. True goes with all real numbers. So that should be your approach to those. Okay, this one says solve for y. So we need to get rid of the fractions. So what you need to think of is what is your least common denominator? Well, we have 3, 9, and 5. We want the smallest number that all of them go into. Well, this is the way I would think about it. 3 goes into 9. So 9 takes care of both of these. But 5 is totally separate. So what is 9 times 5? That would be 45. So 45 is going to be your least common denominator. So come through here and we're going to multiply each term by 45. So the way we did this in class is we actually distributed it. We said 45 times, and then let's see here, we have negative 4/3 y. And then I'm going to have minus, I guess I'll just bring down the minus maybe. And then I'm going to have 40, oops, didn't mean to grab that, 45. And then, I'm trying to color code this thing, 7/9. Now, it might have been better to put the minus over here with the 7/9. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's in there once, it's all good. And then put your equal, and then we've got to come in here and do 45. And then we're going to have negative 9/5. Okay, so all I did was put a 45 on each one of them. We just need to reduce. And again, your calculators are very beneficial here. Just know that I can't give you calculator steps during the test. This is where you would need to type 45 and then in parentheses put -4/3. Your calculator is going to give you the right answer. The way you do it in your head is you say 3 goes into 45 15 times, and 15 times a -4 is -60. And put the y on it. Don't lose your y. That's important. It's your whole goal is to get y by itself. All right, then we go to the next one, and we have 9 goes into 45 5 times, and 5 times 7 is 35. Again, type it in your calculator, you get the right answer. Let's see here, 45 times -9/5, so 5 goes in here 9 times. 9 times -9 is -81. So now it's just a basic equation. So I need to, you can put your little fence up if you want to. Add 35 on both sides. So that's going to be -60y equals, and I'm going to grab me a calculator. I find one. Here we go. I got a -81 plus 35. So that'd be a -46. If I divide through by -60, then I know my negatives cancel, and that's got to reduce. Now, if you don't want to waste your time thinking about what goes into what, remember you can hit 46 divided by 60 and then hit second PRB enter. And since this is less than 1, the 23/30 is your reduced solution. If it had been bigger than 1, you would need to hit second ABC enter, and it would turn it into an improper fraction for you. But that appears to be the correct answer. Quite honestly, I don't know where the answers are, so I'm hoping I'm right there. Now let's try this one. So solve for V. I just need to copy it down again. I was trying to get the blue line off of the problem. That didn't work. Okay, get the line up. They're testing you on your balancing stuff. So those of you that keep balancing without having the equal sign in between, this is going to mess you up. You've got to, over here on the right, these are on the same side. So just combine them. +2 and -6 makes a -4V plus 9. And then over here, just bring down your -19. Sorry, there's a distortion in my board, so I'll try to remember to scoot over. Okay, if I solve for V, I got to get rid of the 9. And so do the math over here. -19 minus 9, that would be a negative, I do believe that's 28, equals -4V. Be very conscientious of your signs. Don't lose stuff. Don't get all loosey-goosey and miss it because you got sloppy. Now divide through by your -4. These cancel. And I've got V equals, the negatives cancel, 28 divided by 4 is 7. So 7 is my answer. And we reduced as much as possible. Okay, same type problem. I'm just going to rewrite it so I have access to it. A couple of ways you can go about this. You can just solve it as is, or if you wanted to, you could multiply the entire equation by 4 and get rid of fractions. I'll tell you what, let me scoot this over just a second. I'll rewrite that, and I'll work it both ways. And you can pick which way you want to do it. I think I've got time to do that. So if I was just going to work it the way it is, there's my little line. I'm trying to get v alone. So I've got to get rid of this 2 that's attached. So add 2 to both sides. So those cancel, and I've got v over 4 equals, and then negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. Well, now keep in mind, you're always doing the opposite of what's being done to your variable. Well, v is being divided by 4, so I need to come in here and I need to multiply both sides by 4 to counteract that. So these cancel, and I get v equals, that should be a negative 16. Now that's one way to work this problem. If you want to work the problem the other way, it's kind of similar to the one that we just did. Go ahead and get rid of fractions. Your common denominator is 4. So say 4 times everything. So that's going to be 4 times negative 2 plus 4 times v over 4 equals 4 times negative 6. So you're just distributing the 4 all the way through there. So that gives me negative 8 plus, now these 4's cancel, which was your crazy little plan, and that's going to be a negative 24. Alright, so now it's time to start moving. So add your 8 to the other side, and you see it's the exact same answer. It's just a different mental path to get there. So you got to go with whichever one you like the best, because your final's on the computer, you know. You're going to show your work on the paper, and that way I can give you partial credit, but yeah, your final's on the computer. Pick your path that you want to do. Alright, same thing, we've got to solve an equation. I guess I'll go ahead and copy it just the way it is without skipping a step. Those having the words underneath it kind of messed me up. Okay, here we go. So, negative 8 times y is going to be negative 8y. Negative 8 times negative 2 is positive 16. So please be careful with those. There's nothing to do on the right but copy it down. Alright, now you want to get your letters on one side and your numbers on the other. It doesn't matter which one's which. I personally like to move my small letter, and negative ones are smaller. So I'm going to add 8y to both sides. It doesn't matter if you'd move the 7, it's all good. But I would move my letters first. Those are gone. That leaves 16 equals 15y plus 31. Okay, so then you come in here, you're going to subtract 31 from both sides. That leaves me 15y, and then 16 minus 31, I think that's 15, but I'm just going to make sure just in case I do something goofy. Yeah, it's going to be 15. So whenever I divide it out, y is 1. So there's my answer. Okay? Going to the next one. Translate this phrase into an algebraic expression. 25 more than twice a number. Now notice, there is no is. And it didn't say translated into an equation. Y'all, it said an expression. So that is no equal sign. Don't try to put an equal sign if it's not an equation. So you're just doing algebraic expression. So 25 more than. So more than means add. So I'm going to add, and then twice a number. Twice means 2 times. You don't know what the number is, but they do tell you to let n represent the unknown. So you're going to do 2n. Now, you can type it that way, or you could type 2n plus 25, because if you really want to get technical about it, more than means to turn it around. But Alex should take both of those responses. Let's see if we can get one more in here. Okay, on Friday, a local hamburger shop sold a combined total of 396 hamburgers and cheeseburgers. The number of cheeseburgers sold was 2 times the number of hamburgers sold. How many hamburgers were sold on Friday? Okay, so let's think about this. And I'll tell you what, it'd probably be best if we'll just wait on this one to the next video. So I'm just going to save this right here, and we'll start back over with this problem, because I don't want to go over the 15-minute mark. So we'll start this one on the next one.